Good evening, AMS SMT 2020. My name is Dr. Malia Jade Roberson, and welcome to my presentation, How I Use Instagram Marketing in #Music Theory Class for Student Success. In this presentation, you will experience a 12-minute snapshot of my life as a music theorist, a music educator, and creative entrepreneur from the perspective of my students and followers on Instagram. Whether or not you are a fan of social media, the truth is social networks are where our students are focusing a lot of their attention. And if we want their attention, we need to go where they are. Now that education is primarily online due to the global pandemic, this shift of attention to online social networks is even more prominent as students are looking for ways to deal with isolation, depression, and stress. We are all seeking human connection now more than ever. Instagram gives me an opportunity to not only be a musical influencer, but to connect with my students outside of the classroom in a stress-free virtual social environment where they can engage with me using humor and shared emotions on a variety of musical and non-musical topics. Instagram is a social media platform that focuses on quick visual content through the use of two primary forms of media, photos and video. It is the most popular social media platform today with over 1 billion users, due in part for its instant messaging, thus the name Instant, in a world today where attention spans are short and users want to passively consume a lot of information. Instagram has proven its ability to adapt popular features from other social media platforms, but especially relevant to any music educator, there now exist features that allow users to combine music from the streaming service Spotify onto their main feed without copyright issues. Instagram is now one of the predominant ways that musicians are growing their fan bases, expanding their reach and exposing their music to new audiences. IG has added features like IGTV, long-form video, and Reels, micro video, forms that mimic YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat, all in order to remain relevant to younger demographics. Marketing often conjures up a negative connotation that implies unwanted persuasion and perhaps trickery. But I use Seth Godin's definition and ideas, which come from a position of servitude that is congruent with my institution's mission. According to Godin, marketing is really a focus on empathy, radical empathy, as he puts it. Radical empathy requires a deep understanding of the goals and desires of our target market. In his book, What is Marketing?, Godin defines it as marketing is the generous act of helping someone solve a problem, their problem. Marketing helps others become who they seek to become. This definition of marketing places me as a person helping my students become what they seek, and in this case, they are seeking to become better musicians, professional musicians. Today, every business is using Instagram marketing to promote their services and products. I am too, but it's not to convert my students to consumers. Rather, it's to convert my students' thinking, to already start imagining themselves as professional musicians. I sell them on ideas and values about what it means to be a musician, what it looks like, and what it takes to achieve musical goals. I use Instagram to document my life as a music theorist and creative entrepreneur. As a music theory professor, I use it strategically to continue the learning after class. With the shift to online modalities of teaching, it's even more apparent to educators that one of the main benefits of in-person teaching is that students continue the learning outside of lecture, something that is less likely to happen in online classes. This is due to spontaneous human interaction. Learning continues in conversations on the way to class, while packing up belongings after class, passing by in the hallways, before, in, and after music rehearsals, and of course, social gatherings, especially those involving live music. Spontaneous conversations ignite continued learning and camaraderie building, which is a crucial part of education that we simply cannot cultivate with scheduled Zoom meetings. But Zoom is all we have right now. While it's not perfect, our priority is to keep our students and ourselves safe. It's not possible to completely replicate that continuation of learning outside of class, of community building and supportive class culture. But I have found that I can use social media to support learning, to share values, and validate my students' emotions while they move through very challenging music theory and aural skills courses. I produce my own content that reinforce music theory concepts and techniques, but I also curate content from other users that focus on a variety of issues in our discipline and in the music industry. In my Instagram feed and backstage in my Instagram stories, I show my students what my professional music career looks like, but I also expose them to as many music career paths and stories as possible. My posts are a mix of quick theory tutorials and infographics, piano playing, gigs, and professional processes. Right now, I'm storytelling my journey to publication from start to finish. I mix in inspirational quotes to encourage, uplift, and let them know that they are not alone. I think it's important that we are able to laugh at ourselves, so I share other user content like mini instruction videos, memes, and GIFs that I find funny or musically intriguing. Students regularly DM me the same types of videos, memes, and GIFs, and our shared esoteric humor cultivates the relationship. I strategically use Instagram's Reels to expose students to a lot more music, especially Western classical music, alongside my typical alternative rock. Reels actually only launched in August 2020, and this new feature is a music teacher's dream, because here is where the learning in between lectures can continue. You can add streaming music to any 15-second video, and videos always receive more engagement. So I take this opportunity to introduce music by Vivaldi, Chopin, Rachmaninoff, Beethoven, Debussy, Ravel, Stravinsky. These are all of my favorites to my students. Music is deeply personal. I see my playlist as another way that students can get to know me and how we can connect through mutual music appreciation. Instagram is also the place where I can introduce students to professional organizations and events, such as academic conferences and workshops, as well as industry-related events such as the NAMM Show, the ASCAP I Create Music, and Production Music Association. Instagram should not be underestimated as a recruitment tool for any institution. I follow my university's account to get a clearer sense of the overall student morale and student concerns, which reveal themselves quite unfiltered in the comments. But it's also a place to reach out to prospective students. Instagram is mostly known for showcasing your highlight reel, but it's important to me to post both my highs and lows, not just my wins, but words from my critics, my mistakes, and especially how I deal with rejection, which is a huge part of any music career. Through this medium, I pass down my values in a more organic way. My voice addresses work ethic and consistency, the music collaborative process, and vulnerability, all of which contribute to strength of character. And without these values, musicians simply cannot build a sustainable music career. 6 benefits to using Instagram as a pedagogical tool in music classes. Number 1, continued learning. Expose students to more music outside of class. Use short tutorials and infographics to reinforce what you did in class or to put concepts into another musical context. Number 2, highlight student achievements. Hashtag repost. Repost student posts. I repost student posts that are building their own teaching studios. I repost when students have released their own music, and of course, I repost all pictures of their music theory work. Number 3, expose students to topics from other classes from the sequence so that they anticipate what they will get to do as they move through the ranks. Number 4, business happens in the DMs, as they say, and a DM is a direct message. Communicate one-on-one through humor and shared interest. This creates more accessibility through communication in a stress-free virtual environment. It's way different than communicating in class. Number 5, use as a recruitment tool to reach out to potential students, but also to storytell student life and show highlights of the program. When students are shopping for college, they most definitely go to Instagram. And number 6, Instagram is best at storytelling. We can model a professional career and expose them to a variety of careers in music and musical paths. When students see your journey as a professional, they can envision themselves. In conclusion, Instagram has been an effective tool for creating accessibility with my students, and accessibility transfers to our class culture and their overall learning experience. I use Instagram to enhance my messaging on building music careers because my theory and oral skills courses obviously don't focus on this topic. My messaging emphasizes that musicians need to bring an entrepreneurial mindset and spirit to their future music careers. And I don't want my students to wait until graduation to start thinking about how they will make money in music. Not all of my students follow me on social, but for those that do, we have a form of communication that indirectly but profoundly shines a light on them. Thank you.